move a few things around here. We're going to go ahead and take the user script that we just wrote for Labyrinth, and we're going to repurpose it, parts of it, for improving trinkets. I have a trinket script that works somewhat well, but not consistently, not to a level that I feel comfortable with releasing it. So we're going to touch up this script tonight. Now, the purpose of the trinket script, let's see, let me just, here we go. Looks like this. Let's see. If I go to, inventory trinkets, and I have a few in there, so this should be, I would like to have more, but I'm glad I have a mix of gathering and battling ones, because they have different stats on them. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is what the current companion script will try to do. Let's see if I refresh here. Okay, thanks. Close the companion. I go to inventory, go to trinkets, and if this loads, here. Come on, wood cutting. I wonder if that's, here, let me refresh again. I wonder if my script is just screwing with it too much. There it goes, it's loading. Close, close, wood cutting. If I go to inventory, and trinkets, it should, it's a little bit slow now. I wonder if that's because of me. Oh, there it was. Hold on. Ooh. Let's bring that down. It's having a hard time render. Oh, I see. I've got some errors. Okay, so I have some errors I need to fix. But you can see what it's going to do. It's going to change this table, break down the trinkets to their base rolls. Not take into account their current level that they're at. But the base level, so you can see here, this is a big delay on my part. So this gathering T6, I have it says base resource 21.2, and you can see the base that is there is really 2.2. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off this script because it's just killing the performance on this one. There we go. There we go. We're going to go ahead and that's why I want to use the Labyrinth script as a place to start, because we know this one works well. So let's go ahead and rename this. This is going to be the Trinket Companion. We'll go ahead and release it as a 0.1 version. Quality of life enhancement for IQRPG trinkets. Trinket Companion, IQRPG. This will be all open sourced. Okay. Now, we don't want to hook into, let me make sure this is on the screen for you guys. Let me kind of try to raise this up a bit. Hold on. let's just go for the code visible. Okay. We don't need to hook into the labyrinth API calls. What we want to hook into is a different call. Here it is. Okay, good. So let's go ahead and clean up this script. Right now, Labyrinth script is looking for when you load the Labyrinth, when you run the Labyrinth, and when you want to get your reward from the Labyrinth. We don't need to do that. What I want to do is go ahead and I may want a cleanup function down here, but let's get rid of these two calls. And the main call we want to listen to now is this one. php/equipment.php question mark mod equals load trinket. And we'll go ahead and just to confirm that this is working, loaded. We'll just do an alert. We won't run any of these other functions. No other modification to the DOM. We'll just save that. And I think that should be the only thing that executes. Update nav. Yeah, we don't want to update the navigation. Get rid of that. Oops, hold on, I'm editing the wrong script. Ha. I thought I hit save. Why is it doing this? Hold on. Yeah, Trinket. Okay, save. Yeah. We only want it, yeah, let's get rid of changing the navigation. We only want an alert when I go to my page. So let's see, if I refresh the page here, I go up to inventory and Trinket. What's going on? I get some uncaught warning. Let's see what's going on here. I may have an open. Oh, interesting. I have a maximum call size. What scripts do I have on? It's the Trinket companion. Okay. Here, let's see if these errors still appear. I'm going to turn off my Trinket companion first. Oh, but there it is. I did get the alert. You guys can't see it because it's not the stream isn't capturing it. I did get the loaded. So open, loaded again, loaded. It's just it's just continually happening. Interesting. We are having an issue where this is triggering more than once. Okay. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the Trinket script for a second. Hey. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my Trinket script. I'm now stuck. It looks like it tried to load this, gosh, alert. I don't know. I'm going to close the browser and open it back up again. Hold on. Let's just copy this, close, reopen. Okay, let's look at our debugger. Having no problems there. Go here, go to Trinket screen loads fine. Okay. Alright. So that works. So right off the bat, I'm not thrilled with the fact that I have an error that's not allowing this thing to run. Whew. What I can do is clean up some of this stuff because all of that was used for trinkets. Write cache and read cache can stay. Render under lab, I want to keep one of these functions to serve as a way to manipulate the DOM, but we can get rid of some of these other ones. We don't need, we will need something, get skill by name. The trinkets are made up of, and let me actually show you your trinkets. Okay, so check this out. Hold on just a second. I'm going to show you guys what this looks like, and I think that'll help a little bit of what it is I'm about to do. And actually something I want to bring up now is the trinket generator. Okay, so let's see, can you guys see? Hold on. I'm going to raise up this screen. Oh, hold on just a second. There we go. The trinkets look like this. I'll raise this up here for a sec. So this is the response call. Let's see if I can make this text larger. Yeah, let me open this up a little bit more. So the response from the server sends the trinkets over using their base. And this is actually what I really appreciate about the code, that the way, hold on, I have to transition this again to move it. The way Carl did this is the trinkets are sent to the front end just using their base amounts. So if we open up this one, those are the modifications. So he's used the numerical ID to represent all the different ways this trinket can get modified. So let's see. You know, so whether these numbers stand for base resource, resource boost, drop boost, mastery, double item, rarity, etc. And what he's doing is, one of these IDs is the ID for the boost, and the second number is the amount of that boost. So that's the mod. The rarity and the tier, so and the type. So I have to imagine he's got type 1 currently equipped. So the ones I'm wearing right now are gathering. So type 1 is battling, type 2 is gathering. The tier and the rarity. So the tier, these are tier 6. So if I scooch this down, actually I kind of wish I could show both of this at the same time, but that's fine. I have a red, so that'd be the rarity. That'd be the the tier, right? I have a mythic gathering trinket, so rarity 6, and it's also tier 6, T6. So that one's that. It is equipped and it has the ID. So he sends back an array of all of your trinkets. And so you see right here, it's the front end of the application that is applying the tier and the rarity to the mod. Okay? And this is the same stuff. Let me me show you guys this. This was the same stuff we used to make the Trinket generator. So this Trinket generator is a work in progress. It's not 100%. But if we try to do a gathering trinket, trinkets don't come. So the mythic is 6, legendary 5, epic 4, rare 3. We have uncommon and common. Trinkets don't drop at that rarity, but that's numerically, that's how he's representing it. So if I choose a gathering trinket, mythic, and this trinket generator, you can click on it. This is from the guide site. There's a link to it. And then the tier. So if I just generate new, it's going to give me my boosts, and it's going to do the tier 1 of it. So it's only going to whatever the roll is. The way this works, the base modification is multiplied by the rarity. There's a rarity modifier, and then you multiply that by the tier. So I had a tier 6. And so you can see the way I have this rigged up, the number with the darker background, the number on top, is how this trinket should appear to the user in the front end of the application. The white number below there is the base. So whether I do tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's a little hard to see there. Let me just show. So I guess that's my roll. 0.4 is the base for the resource boost at this rarity of mythic. If you go down to, let's see some of these change. Let's see, rare. Okay, yeah, you could see right here the difference. 0.4 is the base for the resource boost. By simply going up to mythic, that base changes from 0.4 to 0.64. So that's the rarity multiplier. That's the rarity multiplier. It'll go from 0.4, 0.46, 0.54, and finally 0.64. Rarity. Let's see. Rares can only go up to a tier of 7. Epics to 8. Legendaries to 9. Mythics can go all the way to 10. So. If you're wondering if something is good or not, this is one way to kind of figure this out. It can be a little bit confusing, because when you get one of these higher ones and you look at like, oh wow, the resource boost is like 5%. Oh, that's great. But when you realize the potential is that it could have been all the way at like 7%, you realize, yes, it's better than a rare. It's better than an epic, but re-rolling it is perhaps something you should consider. And that's one of the nice things that this Trinket Companion will do. It'll show you the base amounts. Just a minute ago when this script was working, you saw those red trinkets break down into their base modifiers. And let me see. I'll show you guys. Let me show. I don't know if this is gonna show on screen. Yeah, so this trinket, yeah, you guys can see that, has a base resource of 3.1, which is nice, right? That's better than any of these other blues are going to have. Okay, rarity mythic, gathering at tier 1. This is the base resource of 3.1. Okay, so that's right about in the middle there, right? When you realize this thing can go all the way to 4 though, right? So that trinket, especially with base resource or resource boost being the most important ones for gatherers, that you may consider wanting to re-roll that, trying to get that closer to 4. Okay, let's go back to the code for a second. Let's figure out what's going on here. I would like this to run once and only once. actually have a variable for that. If that's response, render delay is not defined. Oops, I deleted something I shouldn't have. That's okay. Okay, so this should run once and only once. As I refresh this, so one of the things I really appreciate about the way Carl does this is he gives kind of the base information from the back end, and the front end is doing all the multiplication, so it makes these tools really easy. This was the same sort of stuff we saw when we were running the labyrinth, and that's interesting. Did I turn off my labyrinth? No. I wonder if there's a bit of a conflict between these things. If you go to inventory and trinket, oh, there it is. Oh, I never turned this Trinket companion back on. There we go. Let's refresh. Let's go to battle, market. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I think I have an issue between these two scripts. Shoot. Let me... So both of them are trying to do this thing. We're trying to grab the HTTP request prototype. And what we're trying to do is hook on... Oh, thank you. What we're trying to do is we're trying to hook on to the message that comes back from the server and intercept the data, and do our own modification to the DOM. And actually, this would work out for a second. If I actually just turn off my labyrinth script, I can show you guys what this trinket script is supposed to do, and then I can work out this other issue later. Turn off the labyrinth companion and turn on this one. Okay, this should solve the issue. Okay, I'm gonna close this companion. Okay, so now if we go to inventory, trinkets, okay, boom. That's what, so I'm having an issue between these two companion scripts that they're both trying to do a very similar thing, intercept the information from the back end and inject their own function there. So I need to figure out how best to implement two different companions. But what I will say is what you see on the screen right now is how I want this trinket companion to work. I just broke apart my gathering trinkets into their base components, and here you can see this is what I was talking about with those those different modifiers, right? Now these are ordered in the to convey the importance. It would be nice to have the range of values too. Yeah, so here is all the values. In the trinket generator, we have all the values. I think bringing this information over into here would be good. What I would love, yeah, I'm trying to put this in line because what I don't want to do is break the functionality of the game. I don't want to modify this table too much because I do want people to be able to unequip or destroy or upgrade their trinkets. But I also want to put in some information. So I think styling, yeah. But I think there probably could be a way. There probably could be a way in which I can take this information and just like the labyrinth script, because I can take this information and just bring it over to my own panel and just style it however the heck I want. Yeah, as a hint. Yeah, exactly. I think that'd be pretty cool. There's no reason why it has to be displayed like this, especially for all of this data. So the way it's broken down is this is generally the most important traits for gathering: base resource, resource boost, drop, then experience, double mastery, and finally rarity. Right. So at this initial quick glance, you probably don't need the double the mastery or the rarity, and that would, yeah. So shards, true, right? Shards. When I originally wrote this script, shards was not part of trinkets, so shards has to be added in, and I'll probably have to get some folks' opinions on where shards are. It's probably, I don't know, maybe in the blue column, but I do think I could probably have another hint or another panel that you could bring up or pop up or something that could really dig deep into these trinkets. It'd be actually really fun if there was a link where you could just grab this trinket, bring it over into the trinket generator, and it would just load appropriately with your stats, so you could simulate the reroll. One of those generators that's like, how many times would I have to do a reroll to get, like the best stats or something. But yeah, this is what I'm hoping to do. And then what I think would be very helpful as well is for the especially for newer players, when you have, I don't know if you guys can see it, I've renamed the blues as nice frags, because you should just break these apart. But I think it'd be helpful. I mean, that's one of the very first questions anyone has about trinkets, right? Is it worth keeping? Is it worth upgrading, or should I just destroy these? So I want to be able to answer that initial question from a new player. Just breaking it down here. If it doesn't have base, if it doesn't have boost, then this shouldn't be something you should use. If it's your only 3 trinkets, keep it. But the moment you have a chance to upgrade, upgrade them. The moment you have a chance to switch them out, you switch them out. And then maybe link from here to a guide or something like that. As you can see, I did, because I was doing battling for a little bit. But that is an unanswerable question. Well, I would say these right here, these trinkets that have no base resource and no boost, you should absolutely just destroy these if you have them. Whether you should upgrade, I would say the cost to upgrade from tier 1 to tier 2 is almost fully refunded when you end up destroying that tier 2. You can see here I was doing battling for a little bit. I had a base trinket here with base gold and the gold boost, and then a yellow one as well, and I did throw a few levels into those. There's a lot that goes into trinket, especially when you're a new player and your treasure hunter is only going to be level 10 or 20 for a while. You're not going to come across a lot of trinkets. When you start getting into, treasure hunter 50, 75, wait around for those oranges. Take those oranges up to 3, 4, 5. Wait until you get your reds. There's a lot more more end game stuff where folks will have probably some more informed strategies or opinions on when to upgrade, when to delete, when to break them apart. Because you will always have the question between base stats and attributes mastery. And the rename, I'm not really too sold on it. Sure. You will always have the question between base stats and attribute mastery. Oh, for combat. Yes. So let me be clear. The only breakdown and analysis I'm ready to stand behind with this tool is based off the gathering. That I know about and have spoken with other players about. Giving guidance on battle trinkets, I'm not informed about, and I would need to get more information. What I can do right now, though, is at least show folks the breakdown of their battle trinkets. Yeah. So you see, my battle trinkets here, I'm not... Yeah. So, what we can do... Yeah, we're going to have to... I agree that the rule of thumb is you should derive no base gold or base res. Yeah. And that's one of the things too when people ask, should I, you know, should I save up for that mythic trinket or should I craft a legendary trinket? Legendaries will have for sure the base and or the boost. Mythic trinkets will have both. So even if you get them and the roll is low, right? You'll be sure like that mythic trinket is generally then worth re-rolling. Also, you can't add something like a small dot to indicate as fragment. Sure, yeah. The rename there was just for fun. But yes, I do think I would also like to add a small indicator if because you mentioned the range. Like this 1.9, you could put a little indicator there that this should be worth considering a reroll. If I go to looking at the base for those mythic base resource. Let me see. So these are the base these are the bases unmodified by rarity. So the range for those is 1.5 to 2.5. Okay, 1.5 to 2.5. So this one, this 2.5, that is the best base I could have rolled. This 2.4, the best one I could have rolled. This 2.2 is good, but if I really wanted to max it out, you'd roll it. As for the boost base was 0.4 to 0.9. So that 0.4, that's the lowest boost. So this right here, knowing that this is definitely not the best base and is actually the lowest boost, the fact that I've already taken this up to T6 is part of sort of this like, did I make a mistake? Right? You get like, yeah, it's a trinket with 7 different boosts on it or six different modifiers on it. But you can see the boost is, it's a very important stat, and it's the lowest that it could actually be, as opposed to the second gathering one at 0.7. And this one is 0.6 but has a nice 0.9 drop modifier, and I believe drop boost, let me see you guys, if I scrunch this up and scroll this down, drop boost will go from 0.4 to 0.9. So this one right here is just a smidge under best base, just a smidge under best boost, and it does have the best drop. So this one right here is definitely one that I would continue to, ideally it would have that XP as well. That's what's really nice about this red one, is it has that experience, and this one as well. And let me see, but this one has gathering shards, and I don't have that displayed yet, so we'll go ahead and get that added in here. This one doesn't have gathering shards, this one does, and that one doesn't. Okay, so let's go ahead and add in let me see. I'd really like it if I can get the other one to work. Hold on. So functionally, this thing should be releasable this week. I need to get a little bit of information from folks that are doing battling to understand kind of the categories or for the stats, to sort of put in some of that suggestion stuff in there. Sorry, I'm trying to find my script. Why can't I see it? I need to refresh. There it is. Okay. Where's the headers? Right. So I'm going to say right now I'm feeling gathering charges probably here right before experience. And just for right now, I kind of want to just comment out those other columns. And let's see. I would prefer not to print those columns anyways. Let's see what happens here. Trinket. Okay. And let's have it stop printing so many columns. Let's see, add modify trinket view. If the rarity is less than 4. Oh, I see. That's what I did right there. If the rarity is less than 4. So it's grabbing all the blue trinkets and renaming them. That's why. Ha. But what I can do is this. What I like in the renaming, just to buy a little bit more space, I take out the word trinket. So if you see this, oops, and I'll get this thing to close. There. So at least it's just gathering or battling. And I want... It's interesting that this one works. Oh, this is funny. Is this actually happening? Hold on. Is this... Let's just show companion. Create sidebar. Oh yeah, I don't want the sidebar. Create sidebar. I want to hide the sidebar for now. I had thoughts that I would there would be like a side, like you see this kind of companion bar I have slide in, and you know you could adjust, you could show the header image, you could play some audio and stuff like that. Some more controls and commands for people that wanted to modify their game and have a nice little tool there. Maybe that'll be a thing. I just thought the that one user script that a lot of people use is pretty nice, but the modifications in there for what audio to play or when to play or what you wanted to hook onto, it'd be nice if there was some more controls. Okay. I'm just looking for the right function to this is a script I started on a long time ago. Add trinket meta. Okay. Oh, I see. And updated trinket. Okay, I think this is it. And here's the meta. Okay, so here's when I mentioned before that the payloads coming back from the server had 2 numbers. One is the key, right? And the other one is the modifier. So we need to create one here we need to figure out which one of these is, and this is what I mean. Like this works right now for gathering trinkets. I don't have this data yet mapped out for the battling ones. But let's go ahead and put in a shards. And if I look, this is on trinket. It should be my 3rd trinket. So I'm gonna raise this up so we can solve this together. My 3rd trinket, 1, 2, 3. rarity 6, tier 7 mods. And one of these is not like the others. I think it's at 14. Oh, let's see. 14 is, let's see, rarity. Okay, let's see. And the gathering shard boost is 12.4. Okay. Let's see. It should be. It's the second from the bottom, so it's number 8. Yeah, and I don't have 8 here. That's interesting. That's interesting. It's interesting that gathering shards came late in the game. They came much after trinkets came in. But Carl already had a space carved out for them, for gathering shards. I mean, at least the way he's numbered these things. The fact that gathering shards is going in as ID 8. Whereas, you know, rare, whatever. I don't know. I guess he could have changed it later on. I wonder if it's like based off some sort of sorry, what am I trying to think? Like he's alphabetizing something, I don't know. Shards 8, okay. And then if we don't want to display, what are the ones we don't want to display anymore? We don't want to display double, mastery, or rarity. So let's just take this out for right now. Let's see if this works. If I refresh, I go to inventory and trinket. That totally busted. Oh, you guys can't see it. I'm gonna undo that. That did not work. But let me transition this back down. It is kind of fun to work on something like this. Carl doesn't provide an API the way, the way other games do to sort of see some of this stuff. But he also doesn't make it difficult to get under the hood on these games. And I really appreciate that because it allows folks to make tools. I think Queslar having the API access was a game changer, at least as far as I could tell. Like, people built all sorts of simulations and things like that, and that was really useful. We've been able to get the information I've used for like the generators and calculators quite easily because oh, hold on, we are getting, no, this isn't quite correct yet. I'm still working on this. We have a few players, mainly Duck, takes incredible notes, and I think probably talks to Carl on the side. I've talked to Carl a few times about the equations, and that's been very helpful in figuring this stuff out. Somewhere in this mess, I feel like it's something like this. Get meta value. This is looking at the mods. It's grabbing the key. Oh, I see. This function down below is the one I actually wanted to take out, right? No, add trinket meta. This is, I don't know. Unfortunately, I'm looking at some pretty old code. Add trinket headers. Add trinket meta. Good. You can see down here, at some point I was trying to do other things to inform the user of when to keep it. So I think there's a space at some point to come back here. Give guidance to the user when to keep, re-roll, and or destroy. Let's see, keep, I would say probably upgrade. So that'll be some logic in there. Obviously, we need a whole battle section. So to do, oh, not all capitals. Get more data on what is important for battling, and probably also to do. I'd love to maybe somewhere on this page link to the guide. You know, it was interesting. I don't think it's going to work. At the bottom here, I wrote this before Carl linked my guide to the actual game. Down here, I was actually trying to modify the quick links by embedding a link to the guide page depending on the page you were going to. Let's actually see if that works. I may have just... I thought that would be pretty fun. Yeah, it's this thing. I don't know how well this is going to work, but we'll give it a try. Transition. So if you go to land personnel, yeah, there it is. You guys see? At the very end of quick links, I put in a link. So it says link to land guide. If I go to personnel, link to personnel guide. So it's helpful sometimes. I mean, it's definitely more helpful now that you can go up to the top and go to help guide. This one actually did a link to the specific page in the guide that was for the page you were on. So I had it for, and yeah, I think maybe I'll just keep that, maybe roll that out as a different companion or a script or something like that, because I feel like new users that would be helpful. Personnel, raids, portal, land, clans, gathering bonus, dungeons. Obviously, I'm not linking to the right guides here, but battle gathering, but it's penciled in there. So anyway, that would be a fun thing to revisit. For right now, though, we'll go ahead and keep that commented out. We don't need that right now. Second. Cool. So I do think I'm going to have to cut the stream short here because it's been about an hour. It's 1 in the morning. But just to give you guys a hint of what's to come, and I will say, I guess I'll probably be reaching out on Discord. I'll create a topic somewhere on Discord, on the IQRPG Discord, to try to capture notes of folks' opinions on battle. And I would really like to kind of rework this. I would really like to rework it so that the gathering trinkets were all in one section and the battling were in another. I could actually do that. I could do a toggle at the top of your trinket page, so you could toggle between the two. If you wanted to, I don't know. There's been times where I've had like 60 trinkets waiting to get destroyed. Well, this is fine. I just think if you're trying to make an analysis on which gathering trinkets do I have or which battling trinkets should I keep, you probably want to look at them and just them. But now there are no people doing all the skills But now there are no people doing all skills. You are either battler or gatherer. That's very true. It is not a common case that you are collecting trinkets of both types. And if you happen to get some through crafting, you end up destroying them. So yeah, that's definitely not a priority feature. What I'll probably do, though, to just get this out, I'll probably tighten this up and make sure that it works for gatherers and release it as the first release, just because I am pretty close on that. Actually, it probably doesn't. See, yeah, the reason why I would want to do the toggle is just for these headers, because you guys have different, these ones have different, the battling and the gathering have different mods, and so the table needs to be completely redone for that. So that's not a problem. But I guess I would like a little bit more time before I release a battling version. So it'd be nice maybe to release like a 0.1 version, release it for gatherers, get some initial feedback, see what people like about that, and then release the full version that has the battling. Yeah, don't color code the importance on them. Do them on type. Don't do color coding on importance. Res booster, that'll help you for the combat ones. Yeah. That's how I would do it, and kind of keep that as an understanding that gold and gold booster red. Anything after that, I'm not going to weigh in on, but I'd love to like link to a guide or something to help folks better understand the arguments on what folks should care about when. Okay. Awesome. Thank you guys for watching the stream. If you guys want to, I usually stream about my IQ work. I also stream. I'm just gonna plug this anyways. I'll show you guys just because you're here on stream. Give me just a second. Here it is. I stream about this work. I do some other coding projects. I also am working on my own PBBG, and I have the streams up for that. And all these kind of dev things are up on YouTube as well. I'll just plug this because I have you guys here. Let me create a new character here. I think Tempest 4. Create a little character here, yeah, and log in. So this is going to be an idle game as well, but it has some graphical elements, some NPCs, and a much more like RPG feel to it, even though it'll be very much idle play, idle combat, idle gathering, stuff like that. Think Elithor with much more graphics. So yeah, so this is coming. This will be, ideally this is released around the end of the year, around January time is where the alpha, and folks can go ahead and join. So I'll just plug that since I have your attention. But yeah, if you want to hear more about that, please feel free to follow me on Twitch. The website right above me, slyboots.studio, is my studio, and I have links to the YouTube video, our Discord, etc. But yeah, so look forward to that. And thanks everyone for giving me your time and your input on the IQ Trinket Companion. That I hope to have out here in the next couple days. All right. See you guys later. Have a good night.